Chalo, cool then. So today we will discuss about weights. So in selenium we have two types of weights. Okay, sorry, three types of weights. Uh, okay, one is your implicit weight, and the other one is your explicit weight, and the other one is fluent weight. Okay. So these are the three types of weights what we will be using in your selenium. So these are very important topics, kind of very commonly asked interview questions. Okay, so try to understand the logic so that it will be easy for you. Just try to remember how different they are from each other and how different they are from thread dot sleep. If you guys could recollect, we every time use this thread dot sleep. If you guys could recollect, right, we used to tell the system, hey, hold on for 3 seconds. This is in milliseconds, right? If I want to hold on for 6 seconds, I used to give 6 seconds. So now you should get it out. Hey Zakir, we were already using this thread dot sleep, right? Then again, why you are just like why we are learning this weights in selenium, how different they are. Now my simple answer is these fellows are really smart. Okay, when you compare with this Java weight, so most of the people will get confused here. I was also confused when I was learning. This was asked me in Deloitte interview, so I wasn't able to answer it properly. See, that's what happens. See, whenever you are learning, you tend to forget, but try not to forget. That's the reason I'm telling practice, practice, practice. Okay, so this is the Java weight. Thread.sleep is the Java weight, and whereas these things are these weights are explicit weight, implicit weight, and this thing fluent weight. Okay, so now first thing, why we need weights in what is that in our automation code? That is what we should get to the point. So now what will happen is in real time, whenever you are trying to automate any application or whatever it is, right? Few of the times it so happens that few elements may take some time to load. See, for example, after clicking on this element, what should happen? I should be able to see another element. So this is kind of linked to this, but it is coming up only after few seconds. See, it is coming up only after few seconds. See, I have clicked on this button. It is this element is visible only after 5 seconds. So this is a kind of scenario where you will be what is that facing these challenges. So in this case, what you need to do, what will happen is your Selenium will just come. Okay, it will click on this. It will not even wait for seconds. It will just check. Okay, after clicking on this, that element is present or not. If it is not visible, for sure it will fail your test case. So for that reason, we need to make use of waits. You should tell your driver object, hey, there are some areas where our application is bit slow, so please wait for some time. Now you should get another say, Zakir, we already have this thread dot sleep, right? Then again, why we need to use this guy? So that should pop up in your mind. Say, my question is, you know that one very important area where you'll be getting uh, problem is in the search tables. In the search tables. So in the previous thing, if you could remember, just a second, guys, you are able to understand what I'm trying to tell, right? Okay, try to understand this. Very good. So you understood this. So now what will happen if you are using thread.sleep and what will happen if you are using implicit wait? Let us try to understand the difference on that. Okay, so let me go to this and let me close this off. So here what was happening, it is taking time, right? So what will happen in this case? So assume that you are using your thread.sleep. Okay, you are using your thread.sleep and you are telling that, hey, let me wait for 20 seconds, right? So max to max it is taking 20 seconds. Instead of that, let me start my counter here, and it is taking around how many seconds? Well, series. Okay. Hmm. If you are giving thread.sleep, what will happen? Let us try to understand that. Okay, if you are giving your thread dot sleep, what will happen? Let me highlight that. This is very important topic. I may take some extra time of yours, but try to understand this. You can use the same example in your interview, but try to answer it. Now, you are using thread dot sleep, well and good. Okay, I am totally fine with that. Now, if you are using thread dot sleep, what is the problem? Okay, assume that you are lucky enough and you are able to find the results at the fourth second itself. So let me write it as hit or visible. Element is visible at 50th second itself. Even though you are getting the results in 4 seconds, this thread dot sleep is like that not smart. It's kind of I mean a lazy person, whatever it is you want to call it. So you can give your name. So I want you to tell that even though if the page is loaded at fourth second, or I mean, let me rephrase, if the element is visible at fourth second, still it will wait for 20 seconds. I repeat, still it will wait for 20 seconds. So even though your element is visible at sixth second, assume that, then also it will wait for 20 seconds. So if it is visible at 14th, then also it will wait. If you are lucky enough, if your element is visible at second itself, it was very fast, you are lucky enough, still it is waiting your 18 seconds of time. So in this case, even though it is finding at fourth second, it is waiting your 16 seconds of time. 16 seconds of time. So assume that there are some 400 test cases. 400 into 16 seconds, how much it is? So it is almost wasting a kind of half an hour or something like that. Yes or no? So it is around 213 minutes. That's what you are wasting. That is not at all feasible, guys. That is not at all feasible. So that there is a problem that if you are using thread dot sleep, even though you are finding the element or not, it is waiting for that time. Now let us talk about your implicit wait. So let me give some other color for this. So this guy is very smart. This guy is very smart. Okay. Now here in the implicit wait, assume that you are finding the web element at fourth second, then it will not wait for this period. I repeat, then it will not wait for this period. It will continue with the execution. So thereby it is saving your 16 seconds. Assume that you are finding the element at fifth second in this case, still it will wait for 20 seconds. So in that case, if it is still wasting this much of time, that is nothing but almost 15 seconds of time. Assume that you are lucky enough and you are able to find this web element at fifth second, then it will not wait for this total time, it will continue with the execution. Thereby what I am trying to tell is it will save your 15 seconds of time. Even though on paper it looks very simple, assume that there are 400 test cases. Each test case is around saving around 15 seconds, right? So that is equals to this thing. Let me convert this into minutes. So it is storing your 100 minutes, right? Let me convert this into hours. So it is saving almost 1.5 hour of execution time. Or else if you are not using implicit wait, if you are using thread dot sleep, if you are running your 400 test cases, right, they will take almost 1 2 hours. But if you are using implicit wait, it will cut down your time by playing smart. If you are lucky enough, if you are finding at fifth, it will save 15 seconds on each test case. So that's the beauty of the implicit wait. So it is smart. So if someone is asking when you have thread dot sleep, why you are going for selenium waits, so these guys are smart enough. So for example, if you are giving 20 seconds of thread dot sleep and 20 seconds of implicit wait, if you are finding the web element or at fifth second, okay, what will happen is in case of thread dot sleep, it will wait for total for total 20 seconds. Even though the element is visible, it will wait for total of 20 seconds. It will wait for the total of 20 seconds. But whereas in the case of implicit wait, it will only wait until the element is visible, and post that it will continue with the next piece of code by saving the time. So that is about implicit wait. If you have understood, just give me a thumbs up, everyone. So that's the beauty of implicit wait. I want thumbs up from everyone. If not, I'll tell you again, but please, please do not hold back, guys. This is very important interview question. Okay, cool, right? Mm, very good. Now you should get it out. Hey, Zakir, I have a question. What if the element is not visible even after 20 seconds? Even after 20 seconds. You should get this doubt. See, no one is asking me. I am myself asking the questions, and you guys are not even asking me questions. See, if you are asking me questions, okay, it will be a win-win situation for both of us. Yes or no? No one asked this. You think like a tester. What will happen if you are not finding the element even after the 20th second? Obviously, the test case will fail. It will throw an exception called I am not able to find that element. So whenever you are not able to find that element, right, it is like no such element exception. So the test case will fail in both the cases. That's it, nothing much. So you can add this statement and you can tell that the test case will fail in this case. So that is the beauty of your implicit wait. Chalo. Cool, right? I think everyone is fine with this. If you have any questions, please ask me now itself, guys. Cool. So now, how explicit wait works, you should get it out. Can anyone help me? What you feel on the explicit wait? Let me write this. Explicit wait. Okay, cool. So, explicit wait, how this works again. Say, for example, it's similar, it works exactly the way implicit wait works. Okay. Most of the people will get confused that explicit wait is totally different or something like this. No. For example, assume that it is finding the web element at fifth location. It will also wait only till fifth location. Okay, let me rename it. Okay, and it will save the time. Then there should be some difference, right? Implicit wait and explicit wait. It's very simple. This is a kind of global wait. Okay, let me write it here. It is a kind of global wait. When I say global, it is applicable for all the web elements. Mm, see, again confusion. So let me write it down. Merchant center. Okay. So this is a global weight and it is applicable for all the web elements. So now you should ask me, Dr. Zakir, how about this thing then? So explicit, the name itself is telling that, right? Nothing much to worry about. Explicit weight. So explicit weight is applicable for single web element. That's it. So this is applicable for single web element. Now again the confusion. So what is this? See, you made us very clearly understood that thread.sleep is a dumbass guy, so he's not that smart. And we were talking about implicit wait. It was easy, so it's nothing but it's smart enough. If it is able to find the web element in a given defined time, right, it will skip the other seconds. And you told it's the same case for explicit wait. But now Again, you're telling that this is a kind of global and this is a kind of applicable for single web element. We are just quite confused, right? So I'm here to help you out. Let me take another example. Okay, assume that you are working on Flipkart application. Okay, assume that you are working on Flipkart application. So when a developer is telling you, right, see, Flipkart is used by almost everyone in India, like almost, I'm telling, not everyone. So most of the people in India. And see, just remember, what is the last time you saw some error on the Flipkart? You will feel very angry, right? You are like, oh my god, this is not working. So for that reason, they're telling that the application is should load each and every web element within all the. It is telling that the developer is the product owner is telling all the pages and web elements should load within 5 seconds. That's what they are telling. So if it is taking more than 5 seconds, then your test case is failed. But there are few areas where it will take more than 5 seconds. There are few areas where it will take more than 5 seconds, like the payment area. Payment. On the payment screen, on the payment screen, to see the success or failure message, because we need to interact with third party application, they need to contact the bank server and they need to get the successful message, right? So on the payment screen, maximum we can wait for wait time wait time should be they are telling that it can be 20 seconds. So that is how they have defined. So I am taking a real time example, please try to focus. So when I'm telling this, what I'm telling is, once I launch the Flipkart application, so every time I'm able to click on this, it should load within 5 seconds. If I'm clicking on this, it should load within 5 seconds. If I'm clicking on this, it should load within 5 seconds. So if I'm clicking on this Flipkart, so I should be able to see all the web elements within 5 seconds. But whenever I'm making a payment, I'm giving a flexibility that it can wait for up to 20 seconds. So now let me directly link this to whatever we have learned here. Okay, whatever we have learned here, implicit wait and explicit wait. So as I was telling, right, implicit wait is at the global level. So you can define an implicit wait of 5 seconds, at the driver level, because every time you are using, that is nothing but your global weight. Don't get confused with the terminology, I'll talk about this. Global. So what will happen is, all the web elements now will wait a max of 5 seconds. If it is not loading even after 5 seconds, then only it will throw a failure error. So we will be defining implicit wait of 5 seconds. Now on the payment screen, once you make any payment, right, you should be able to see that success, right? That seeing that success also is one of the web element. So success, you should see that success message, right? Success message is also one web element, right? So you will be telling that explicitly wait for this web element alone, for this web element alone. Now you should get it. Okay, Zakir, we you told that at Flipkart level you are defining it for 5 seconds, right? But again you are telling, can we add separately for this? Yes. For that reason only, the name itself is suggesting explicit wait. Whenever you are adding explicit wait, you will be adding to that single web element alone. Single web element alone. Now, even though the success message is part of Flipkart application, and even though you are defining the 5 seconds at the driver level, this explicit wait will override that, and it will give some special privilege for this web element, and it will wait for 20 seconds. So that's the beauty of your implicit wait and explicit wait. Okay, have you got it? Just give me a thumbs up if you understood at least. Good. Everyone, superb guys, superb guys. I am really happy to hear that. Okay, so that's the beauty of your implicit weight and explicit weight. Both are same, but you know that there are few pain areas where application will take some time. Like for example, now there are different conditions in the explicit weight. Element to be visible, element to be gone, something like this. So all these sort of things we will be using in the explicit weight. In the upcoming sessions, we will be using a lot of these things. Okay, a lot of these things. So whenever your test case is failing, right, every time instead of driver dot windows dot manage or dot maximize, we will be now using the implicit weight in every test case. So now you should get it out how to define the implicit weight and how to define the explicit weight and how to write the conditions. So if you are fine with this, if you understood what is implicit weight and how it works and how smart it is and what's the difference between implicit weight and explicit weight, just give me a thumbs up. I will move on to the syntax part. If anyone has not understood, please stop me here itself. This is very important interview question. So that is that you will be writing implicit weight only for a single time. Okay, but the thing is you need to understand how to explain it to others. That is what makes difference. Okay, if everyone has understood, let me write something here. Okay, cool. So let me delete this. What happened? Why am I not able to delete this? Okay. Chalo. Let me turn off Copilot. Hmm. Let me clear the console. Hmm. So I have written this class, and here instead of writing WebDriver driver is equals to new Chrome driver every time inside every test case, I have defined it like a variable that is nothing but what is this variable called? Can someone help me? Is it a local variable or global variable or instance variable or static variable? We remember, right? What is it?
Global variable.
Okay, very good. Because this can be used across, if it is in blue color, this can be used across different things. So let me directly launch this driver dot get URL. So I saw this thing. Okay, let me copy this. Okay, here, let me rerun this. 1 second. Okay, so once I click on this, only after some time this page will load. For it is here, it is telling that it will take for sure 5 seconds. But for example, if it is taking 2 seconds, if it is loaded in only 3 seconds, if it is loaded within 10 or 12 or something like that, right? You will be saving your time. So in the search result page, that is what I was telling, right? So let me write the XPath for this. So here we have ID, right? Very good. So driver dot find element by dot xpath. Sorry, instead of xpath, let me use id this time. By id, I know the id, right? Okay, cool. So I can directly write this, click here. See, slowly we are making it bit this thing. Okay, so now I should define the what is that implicit weight, right? Even before we start, I told you, right? A web drive, it is defined at the driver level. So what is the syntax to define the implicit weight? So we need to understand that. So the syntax is very simple. Driver dot. You should tell the syntax also. Manage dot timeout. Okay, that is what it is. Timeouts dot. If you could see here, there is a keyword called implicitly wait. So there is a keyword called implicitly wait. This is a syntax. Driver dot manage dot timeout dot implicitly wait. So now here you need to give the time units implicitly wait. So for example, in our case, I want to give it as 30, right? So duration dot off. So here I can use minutes or hours or milliseconds. Here we have something called seconds, right? Let me select this second. So you, if you want minutes, you can give minutes. If you want seconds, I want to use seconds. So that is the syntax. So now you have defined the implicit wait of 20 seconds. So the maximum wait time uh, for all the web elements is 20 seconds. If you are finding the web element in 2 seconds, you are saving 18 seconds. Instead of this, if you are using thread.sleep, instead of this, if you are using thread.sleep, what will happen? For 20 seconds, it is milli, right? You need to give it as 20 because this is in milli. Don't get confused again. Milli is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 3. So if you are using the thread.sleep of 20 seconds, it will wait for 20 seconds for sure. But if you are using this, let me do one thing. Let me run this thing first. Okay, WebDriver wait. After that, I need to click on that, and after that, I need to what I need to do. Mm, Once I click on this, I should be after some time it should be visible. So this element should be visible, right? I will click on this element as well. Okay, visible after 20 seconds. So let me write it. So driver dot find element by dot id. So let me give the id here. Let me write the click operation. So nothing will happen by clicking on this, but still. So I have written a single test case. See, we are not using main methods these days. Okay, we are using test range here, the rate of test. This is like a single test case. So now what will happen? We have defined the implicit wait of 20 seconds, and let me run this program. Okay, let me run with both implicit wait and thread.sleep, and let us feel the difference. Okay, my laptop is slow, still it's launching. Okay. So if you are using this thing, right, all this thing will happen very fast. But if you are using thread.sleep, for sure your test case will take almost 20 seconds to complete. But this guy is smart, right? Okay. Mm. Finally, it has opened. Mm. It has opened, and it will click on this. See, automatically it clicked on that element and it was able to click on this. So if it is clicking, then only it is getting highlighted, guys. So if you are clicking, it is getting highlighted. So that's the beauty of your implicit wait. It will save some time. So assume that instead of this implicit wait, you are using your what is that? So let me, instead of your implicit wait, assume that you are using this what is that? Thread.sleep. That's what I was telling, right? So it will take more time now. It will wait for 20 seconds for sure. Okay, one second, hold on. I need to write it here. So you can write this thing here as well. So because you are performing all the operations after this, right? You can define it at any time. After launching the WebDriver, now this time what I'm doing is instead of using this thing, I am using thread.sleep. Now let us see. Let me maximize the window. So now this time I'm not using implicit wait, and let us see how much time it will take. You can have a look at the what is that, this timer. Okay, it has launched now. It should maximize it. Look at the timer. It is 8:27 now. It will for sure wait for 20 seconds. Then only it will perform that operation. But whereas in the previous case, right, it took very less time. It took very less time. See, after 20 seconds, see, now it is the 21st second. After 20 seconds only, it clicked on that. So it is wasting a lot of time here. Now let me run this test case without this thing. Now let me play smart. Okay, let me play smart. Okay, let me do one thing. Anyhow, it will give me the time, right? Okay, now let me run this. So this time I'm using what is that implicit wait. Let us see how much time it is taking to run the test case. And next time, let us use thread.sleep and let us calculate the time, guys. So it has opened the browser, it has maximized, and it has clicked on that, I believe. Yes. Okay, superb. So how much time it has taken? It has taken, see here it has taken 8.8 seconds. 8.8. Okay, it has taken 8.8 seconds with implicit wait. Now let me do the same thing without implicit wait. What will happen? So let me remove this implicit wait and let me add this thread.sleep. Okay, let me run this piece of code and let us check how much time it is taking to execute. Okay, so this time I'm using thread.sleep. Okay, let us calculate the maximum time. The test case failed. 1 second, because I was trying to drag it. Maybe it failed. Just a moment, guys. I'm using extended monitor, so you're not able to see the other screen. So even though it is telling that element not interactable, okay, it is telling that I'm not able to find this element. It's okay, fine, but I am interested in time. It is taking around 23.8 seconds. So 23.8 seconds without implicit wait, or I can say that with Java wait, or you can say it with without implicit wait. So that's the importance and significance of the implicit wait. Okay, I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to tell. Just give me a thumbs up if you understood the importance of implicit wait. Or let us do one thing, guys. So now that we are using any test ng, right? Let me run two test cases here. Let me create two test cases. One with implicit wait and another with without implicit wait. See, I'm not using the flavors of this. Without means I need to remove this and I should not use this. And here I need to remove this thing and you need to run this. Now you guys tell me quickly how much time it is taking in both the cases, right? Try to write this test case, the same thing what is there on your screen, and tell me the time how much it is taking with implicit wait and without implicit wait. The same test case, but execution time. Okay, write it fast. So let me share the link what you need to write here. So let us see who will share me the results first. Okay, let me share you the code. Hmm. Chalo, fastest finger first. Let me see. I need the results in the testng output format. Okay. Mm, come on, guys, do it.